Hi everyone, and welcome back to Alan's Quote. This is going to be more of a vlog style video when I just talk to you about what's going on through in the fish room since the last time I did the fish room tour. I try and do a video like this once a week just so that you kind of get an update on what's going on and what I've had to happen in the last week. Okay, so since the last video, the last fish room tour that I've shown you, the cacatuoides pair, Apollo and Aphrodite, they've recently had some fry. As you can see, she is bright yellow because she's literally just laid some more eggs. I'll show you the fry setup that I built since the last video a bit later on, but she's got eggs she's got fry in that cave, and he was getting very aggressive and starting to eat them, so I separated the fry from them to kind of give them a bit more of a fighting chance, and they're growing out quite nicely in the fry setup, which I shall shortly show you. Other than that, this takes pretty much the same as the last time I saw you. So onto the female betters, they're next door. The plants here have really taken off. This lily has really gone crazy, and it's like really got to the surface. They absolutely love it. There's been quite a lot of aggression, which you can see. Some of the fins have been torn on the eldest to the females. She's at the back there. It's this one here is the aggressor. She gets really aggressive and chases them off. And as you can see, this one here is hiding because she's just so aggressive. So thinking about separating her out. I'm also thinking about breeding one of them with a male better, Hades, which you'll see shortly. But yeah, this tank's going really well. The plants are growing really well. The fish are really enjoying it. So yep, that's this one. Onto the normal grandma master eye pair. These guys are doing really well. He's really kind of coming into his own recently. You see him come up now. I'll feed them all a bit later on in the video just to show you guys like feeding. But he thinks he's being fed because I've just come up to take a glass, and they're going to show you a bit of courting behaviour now, most probably. She's really ready to lay some fry, but he's not quite sure yet. I've been trying to condition them with the black ones, but they're not really too interested in it yet. So I'm going to give them another couple of weeks, and then I'm going to try 50% water change where I drain it down to like here, and then I'll fill it back up with really nice cool water to kind of give them that feeling that it's raining, and then that should set him into overdrive. I've just added some more leaf filter, so that's why the water's very dark. So yeah, that's this guy's tank. On to the Epistogramma agassiz. This guy has absolutely taken off recently. He has got massive. He's been eating a lot of food. He's really been quite aggressive towards his female, but she's started to really give it back to him. There's quite a lot of algae in here at the moment, so I've been thinking about getting a small bristle nose to kind of tidy that up. But they're doing great, absolutely great. I don't know if you can see him at the moment. He is around somewhere, but I've given him a name recently, Percy. So I like to name all my fish after like Greek or Roman gods. So he's Percy, which is short for Poseidon. He's around, there he is, you can see it there. Yeah, he's, like I said, he's been absolutely growing like crazy. He's always doubled since the last time I did a video, which was like 2-3 weeks ago. So yeah, I've just been doing lots of water changes, lots of feeding, and he's, like I said, he's taking off like crazy. I haven't seen any breeding action out of these two pairs yet. They're still quite young. I mean, if you've seen the female, she's still tiny. He's seen her there, so that's kind of where we're at with these guys. They've still got another 2-3 months worth of growing before we start to see some breeding action from them. But you know, just keep going, keep the water changes high, keep the food nice and high quality, and then we'll go from there. Recently I've taken out all of the non-return valves from the system because they kept blowing off, and I kept coming in the mornings and there'd be tanks without filters that go in, so I just removed them all, and it's not causing me any issues. I have had to add some runoff lines over here, so these 4 lines here are all runoff lines to let a little bit of pressure out the system, but obviously that will mean eventually more tanks. Don't tell my girlfriend this, but yeah, that kind of is where that is. I can easily add another 6 tanks to this setup to kind of get it where it needs to be. Rams, he has absolutely, he's just coloured up massively recently. You're seeing a bit of sparring action. They have laid eggs. She ate them all. I'm waiting to see that happen again. I haven't seen that behaviour again since. What I did to trigger them last time was I really lowered the temperature, and then I with the cool water change, and then obviously they came back up to temperature, and that kind of sparked them to spawn. I haven't tried that again yet, just because didn't really have the fry set up ready. With these guys, if they're going to continue to eat the eggs, I kind of want to separate the fry out straight away. But they're super active. They do need a few more plants in here, because this is kind of the tank that's kind of lacking in the plants the most. And when we get to the display tank, you'll see that I've rescaped it since the last time we did a video. Put quite a few plants in there to kind of give it a new look. But yeah, so the Master Eye Gold, the female, she's right at the front here, and the male is the back. You'll see he's got absolutely huge again at the back there. He's about breeding size now. She's a little bit small, but we have seen some breeding action from them in the last couple of weeks. She's almost ready. I put a lot more leaf litter in here to give them a lot more hiding spaces, and that's really made them, it's a bit counterintuitive, but the more hiding spaces they've had, the more I've seen them out and about. And I've moved their filter to the back just because I felt like it was giving them a bit of trouble when I was trying to feed them, because I feed from the front of the tanks, I feed from these lifts here, so they were having a bit of trouble with the feeding. But yeah, he's got absolutely huge, and he thinks I'm feeding him, about to feed him, which I will feed him very shortly, and I shall put that in this video. But look, we're about to see some breeding behaviour here. He's going to do a headstand. He's trying to show off for her. Absolutely fascinating behaviour. He is gorgeous. I can't even tell you. Come from such an ugly little duckling to his reds come right over his face, right the way down his body. He's unreal. His fins, absolutely amazing. Really proud of him. As you can see, the male bear tank is kind of, it's just overgrown with this lily. I need to chop it back, but I haven't had a chance to just give it a good hack back. It's gone crazy. It's definitely in there. I'll see if I can catch a glimpse for you. There's some of the little raspberries. I don't know if you can see them with the glare, but there's my cacatuoides there. Swimming about. But yeah, we might do a top-down view, see if we can see him. He normally comes up when I lift the lid. He thinks it's going to be fed. There he is. Look. Again, he's absolutely beautiful. So I'm thinking about breeding him with one of the females. I've got a nice koi female, and bringing the koi gene to his finnage would be like really cool. I would just have to agree with a fish shop if they take them, because obviously you get quite a lot of fry. And if you're able to keep them alive, you kind of could be stuck with quite a lot. And I wouldn't feel comfortable just getting rid of them, if that makes sense. And then on to the pea buffers. This tank still needs a lot of work, but you know, they're happy and boisterous and full of fun, and I put a load of snails in there for them. So they will. This big girl here, she will take down those snails eventually, and once she gets hungry. Okay, we're about to go on to the display tank. Just before we go on to that, I thought I'd talk about a few things that were happening in the fish room. So we built a fry setup, so I'll show you that in a minute. And we also added another grow out tank, which is underneath the display tank. Just a 80 litre tank that I had sitting out in my shed. 2 sponge filters in there. No fish in there at the moment, but once the fry get big enough, they're going to go in there. Yeah, it's a bit dirty, but you know, it's growing some Infusoria and stuff like that, ready for the fry. I cleaned it out thoroughly before I brought it back in, but yeah, just nice empty tank, ready for some fish. I was thinking about doing a shelter while I set up, so if anyone thinks I should do that rather than turning this into the fry grow out, just let me know. Again, like I said, we have to keep that on the down low as a project. So I've been hatching out baby brine with these little hatcheries. I use 1 per day for the fry setup. So this is the fry setup. It's going to look a bit strange to you guys, but so I've got some trays. where the fry kind of are. And then I've got some floating Savidia on the top, and then I use this bottom tray here to filter the water out, so the water is pumped in the top using these little tubes, and then it overflows here. I don't know if you can see it because it overflows right there, and it flows back in and it circulates the water in and out of the tub. So let's see if I can catch a glimpse of some of the little fry. They're probably about 2 weeks old now, so they're almost getting big enough for the grow out tank. There you go. One of the little guys there. So there's about 14 of them in these 2 trays. I do keep finding some in here as well, which is I have to then go and scoop them out with my turkey baster to get them where they need to go. But I'll go through how I built this in another video if anyone's interested. This is the display tank. It's very different to the last time we've seen it. I really went to town with planting it out, so I'm quite pleased with it now. We've got a lot of height in the background, and these little crypts down the front kind of filling out the foreground once they've all filled out, and a lot more leaf litter. So one thing I have noticed is this orange flash male here. I was just using him to grow out in this tank before I moved into his own tank. He is paired off with a little triple red female. She's got eggs in this pot here, and then it's kind of making the triple red male, the small male, he's being bullied into the corner, but because there's enough hiding spaces in this tank now, it's really easy for him to get away once the male kind of chases him around, and you know, there's not really much aggression in here at all. But you can see they're all ready for me to feed them, because they're all whenever they're used to me coming up to the tank, they think, oh, we're being fed. So we'll do that for you now. So put the lid back. So we're feeding frozen, just regular brine shrimp today. I do defrost it before I feed it. I know a lot of people just dump the cubes in, but I don't. So, in we go. There he is. Off he comes. He's very aggressive to the food. And these algae will, I know that they're called Siamese algae, but they will hoover up any food that is left. They're really good at that. So this tank stays really quite under control with any excess food. And then obviously my L128 Blacko, he's still hiding. I do see him from time to time, but he hides in that cyclic cave that I bought. It's just where he lives. So that's their feeding. Let's move on. Let's feed someone else. I think we'll feed Apollo. Let's give him some food. He knows it's coming. He's had his lid go back. I normally feed him from like the middle of the tank, so. And he'll hoover all that up. He's an absolute pig. He loves his food. That's the end of this first vlog style video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one.